Hello everyone. So I'm just making this video because I got equipment and I like DJing and I want to show everyone how to DJ. But part of the fun is the showcase of your own music that you found and you want to play. It's kind of like a show and tell friend thing. So I want to teach you all how to be able to prep your own music so that you can just come over with a USB if you ever want to, and you can try DJing. I can teach you all of that. I just want to give you the tools here so that you can do this homework yourself and not have to worry about me coaching you through all this and maybe like spoiling some of the fun by showing me the songs. So first things first is we are going to start with a empty USB. So I have a USB right now that's empty. If you don't have one that's empty, I would maybe back up your stuff on it and then you can put it back later. But you do need it to be ready to be like cleared because Rekordbox is kind of finicky. And that's the first software we're going to be using. So the equipment I have is Denon equipment. So I'm just going to quickly show you the two companies. There's Denon and there is Pioneer. So Denon is not this audio company. There's actually two. So we have to do Denon DJ. But this is Denon equipment and this is Pioneer equipment. And it already knows that I meant DJ. Pioneer also makes other stuff. But yeah, these are the two competing brands. The most popular brand is Pioneer. So if you want to be able to DJ anywhere, this first part of the tutorial is for you. I will show you how to set up stuff for Pioneer, and then afterwards, this can be converted to Denon. But if you only plan to come over, hang out, and DJ with me, I do have Denon equipment, so you can skip this first part and actually go to the second part in which I'll show you how to prepare specifically for Denon. So to sum it up, this first part is if you want to be able to DJ anywhere. The second part is if you only care about DJing at my house or on Denon equipment if you know someone has some. So now let's get started. So first thing you want to do is download Rekordbox. Let me just pin this tab. So Rekordbox is here. You will need to create an account, but just download it, kind of walk through it. If it asks you what version you'd like to do, there's paid versions. You can just click like, I don't want to pay for this, and you'll be good from there. Yeah, so I'm going to assume you know how to download software. If you need help with this, feel free to reach out. I'll 100% help. But let's pretend you've downloaded it, you've got it all set up. Let's get started. So I'm going to launch Rekordbox. Let me just close some of my stuff here. Boop. So give it a sec. All right, here we are in Rekordbox. If this pops up, say no. This does not matter. Just hit no. Okay, whatever. Okay. So as you can see, I already have songs here, so this won't be a true from scratch experience, but I can still show you how this all works. So Rekordbox and Engine DJ, which is the other one, work the same way in that you have a collection of all your songs, then you have playlists, which you can store into folders, and then you bring playlists onto your USB. I think you can bring your entire collection, but it's best to work with playlists for our sake. So I'm actually just going to create a playlist here called my favorite songs. So I'm gonna right click here, hit create new playlist, my fave songs, and then do a little cat emoji, and that worked. Hell yeah. So normally I'd import into collection and then I'd drag it into here, but actually I will do that. So here I have two songs I want to add. Pink Panthers, Just For Me, and ISOXO, Nina Jirachi, Shy Pop. So I'm gonna click on these and drag them into here. And they will show up just shortly. There it is. There's Shy Pop. And there's Just For Me. So here we have our two songs. So you have them in here. They have been analyzed and they're ready to be kind of tweaked and worked on. So I'm going to show you how to prep your songs and just ensure they're good. So we're going to drag on Just For Me. First thing I want to check is go to grid and check if this, which is the tempo, this is how fast the song is it a nice round number? Most songs, if they are electronically produced, will be a nice round number. There will be no decimals. So this looks good. I'm going to kind of skip ahead a bit and see right now the next thing. So the most important thing, does the tempo look okay? If this looks weird, you might have to do a bit more work. It's not 100% necessary. For example, Shy Pop, as you can see here, the tempo is 169.98. That's the tiniest bit off. It'll probably be okay, but If it looks way off, like you're looking at, like a 3-7 or like a 5-8, like ugly numbers, it's probably off and you might have to do some work. But I'll show you the quick and dirty here. So right here, you can see on the waveform, we have these lines. So I'm going to hit play.
I found the street of the house in which she stuck.
I don't want to get copyright strikes. That's all I got. But these lines are the beat grid. So these will line up to the beats, the heavy hits. And they'll always be going. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I found the street of the house in which she stayed.
1, 2, 3, 4. So a good kind of rule of thumb is the first kick, as you can see this kick here, will happen on a downbeat. So this is actually lined up well, but let's say it's completely off. You see something like, I don't know, like this. Like this is clearly not right. This is not to any beat, nothing, no spikes are hitting with it. It looks wrong. How do you adjust it? What you do is you drag this along and use your ear as well. Find a spot that looks right and then hit this button here. And as you can see, it's all good. The entire song is good too. You can see every single major kick happens on that beat. Everything looking good. All right, so this song looks great. So once you think this grid looks good, hit that lock button. Super important. This ensures that when you go to mess around with it on the decks, you don't accidentally adjust this. This is now locked in and it can only be edited on a computer. And now we will drag this into my fave songs and it'll be in our playlist. So I'm just going to do one more here with Shy Pop. First thing I notice here, this is a bit off. 169.98. That's way off. Well, not way off, but it looks wrong. So I'll just round it up to 170. That's probably right. So you can see this is the tiniest bit off. And in reality, probably won't matter that much, but I still want to adjust it. So I'm going to hit this, set the first beat, and you can see everything looks good. And we can just quickly kind of scan through. I like to go to the second chorus or drop and see if things look right there. So let me check it here. Just listen as well. Looking all good to me. So that's how you set the beat grid. Now we're going to check one more thing, which is cue points. So cue points are buttons you can hit and immediately jumps to that spot in the song. So points of interest are usually a good spot. So for example, I want a cue point right when the build-up starts. So right here, the build-up starts. And I can kind of tell visually because it goes down, up, and then I know this is the drop. So I'm going to go to cue loop, hit that button, and there it is. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing. Some older Pioneer controllers don't have cue points. They use these things called memory banks. If you come up to one of these, ask someone how to use them. But to prep for that, you hit the cue button and then you hit memory and it's locked here. So it's a good idea to have both in case you come over to someone's crusty, 20-year-old Pioneer controller and it doesn't know what the hell a cue point is. But as you can see, we've got a cue point here. So I'm just going to add one or two ones that I think are important. So I like to have one for the kind of outro half of a drop so that I know when to start mixing out. So I'm going to add that here. And then I like to have one right at the start of the drop so that I know when it's coming. Awesome. And you can right click and change colors if you'd like. Oh, let's do that. And you can even change yes, you can even right click here and hit add comments and change the name. So we can do build up, drop outro. And yeah, so we'll drag Shy Pop in here to my fave songs, lock it. Good. So we have two songs here. They're ready. Next thing I want to do is, oh, this one seems okay. Actually, I might not have to format this. Well, if that's the case, then that's great. So if you want to add songs over from your playlist, there's two ways. You can just literally click and drag and like plop it in there and it'll happen. And then there's the sync manager. This lets you pick multiple playlists at once. So I'm just going to do my fave songs for now. I'm going to do my face songs for now. What's happening? Yes, so I have to check that. Yeah, do my face songs, hit over. And there you go. You can see it just finished. We've got that. Awesome. So that's how you do it with Pioneer. If you come over, plug this in, it'll just take a few seconds to analyze and kind of convert it over to the Denon format, but it'll work otherwise. So that's our first part. All right, so here's part 2, or part 1. If you're watching this, you probably shouldn't have watched the other. We're all good. Anyways, so here's Engine DJ. This is Denon's kind of version of Rekordbox. Does the same thing, really, just different flavor, and it's only for Denon controllers versus Rekordbox, which is only for Pioneer, but Denon converts. Not important. So download is here, linked in description. Download it, install it. This one's a lot less hassle-free. This one is a lot more hassle-free. There's no signups or anything. You just go, which I love. Thank you, Denon, for that. And here we have Engine DJ. So it's similar to, well, okay, I'm going to assume you haven't seen the first part of the video. That's for the best. So in Engine DJ, we have collection, and then we have playlists. We can make playlists in our collection. And the mechanism for how you do this, like prep, is you have a collection, which is all your songs, and then playlists, and you can bring the playlists over to your USB. So let's get my songs in here. I'm going to add Pink Panther's Just For Me and ISOXO Nina Jirachi Shy Pop. 2 great songs. Just drag them in as you would. Here we are. So they're in your collection. How do we prep them? So it's important to do a bit of legwork here so that when you bring them in to the controller, they're just ready to play. The idea is everything's prepared and perfect here, and then when you're plugged in to the controller, all you do is play. So let's start with Just For Me. Now, what we're looking for mainly is, 1, is the tempo here a nice round number? When we go to edit. So this is the edit button. This is where you can adjust everything, make sure everything's lined up. Is the tempo a nice round number? This looks right. 133. If it's like 133.6 or it's 7.2, if it's like a gross number, it's probably not right. But there are times where it'll analyze and be a little off. For example, you might get like a 132.98, which is the tiniest bit off. If you see that, just round it up or down. So 133. Beauty. So that's right. Next step, we want to make sure that our beats are on the spot. They're hitting with at the same time as percussion. So this here, these red and white lines are the beat grid. If I play, you'll realize it's on tempo. And if you want it sure, you can do this.
I found the street of the house in which she stayed. And my diary's full of your name on every.
So this one is actually all correctly, so I don't have to do. Sorry for loud noises. I don't have to do much. Sorry, parents are talking. I don't have to do much adjustment. But hypothetically, what if I do? Oh, I just messed that up. Oh my god. Is this one? Yes. Okay, beauty. So let's say hypothetically, right? This is not lined up. So you would adjust it with these little nudges here. Kind of click over until everything looks lined up. So this one is. And again, if you want to check, put on that metronome, listen, do the beats happen with the clicks.
I found the street of the house in which she stayed. And my diary's full of your name on every page.
That sounds great. I think we're good here. So your next step is to hit this lock button. This lock button basically ensures that when you put this into the controller, you can't mess around with things there. So you basically go, I'm confident this is right, locked in. So right now the grid is locked. We can't edit it on the controller, only on the computer, which is nice. That's what we want. So the next thing we can do is we can create a playlist for our songs. So right here, we have this little button and playlist. So I'm going to write my songs. Oh, I can do it. Yay, my songs. So we go to collection, drag Just For Me into my songs. And now we're just going to prepare Shy Pops. Let's just do that real quick.
Words come out so.
So I can see that the BPM is right. because that looks a nice round number and this is all lined up, but it has the first beat wrong. This is the first beat here because it's the first major kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's the one. So what we do have to do here is we're going to adjust this over. Boop, 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 boop. I always like to move my thing away. And that looks about right. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, guys, as long as it's like close enough. So that looks good. We're going to lock it. Now, one more thing you can do is add cue points. So cue points are like shortcuts to any part of your song. So interesting or impactful moments you want to be able to access easily. That is so loud. Oh my God. Sorry, everyone. So for me, I know that this is the build up right here. This is just from knowing the song and also kind of visually seeing, and I can see that it kind of, and that's the drop. So right here, that would be our build up. So I'm going to make a point right here, Q1. And then I'm also going to make one at the start of the drop. Right here, which again, I just know from intuition. Q2. And then make one at the halfway point. So I can mix out. So we have our cue points ready. Finally, we can right click and we can change the names and colors. So I'm going to name this build up, drop, and this last one I will just say like outro, even though it's kind of not, but for DJing purposes. Awesome. So Shy Pop's ready. I'm going to put it into my songs, and here we have a playlist called My Songs. Yippee! So we go to Sync Manager, and I can click this playlist or all of them and hit Export to Drive. Give it a few seconds, and bada bing, bada boom, we have them on our drive. So right now, I have both Rekordbox and Engine playlists on here. Awesome. So that's how you set up your Engine playlists and your Rekordbox playlists. As for the how do I DJ, I'm going to assume that someone there can teach you, or I'm able to, or if you really want, there's a lot of resources online. So thanks everyone for watching. If you have any questions, just DM me. I'm assuming this is going to be a private video just for my friends. But yeah, thanks everyone. Much love. Bye-bye.